You guys, Brooke Schofield is addressing some drama once again. This has to do with a situation that was brought up a couple weeks ago. This is drama with Brittany Furlan. It has to do with her husband, Tommy Lee, and a joke that Brooke made. And Brooke is coming out to apologize and kind of explain herself for the whole thing. And it is such a mess, but we are going to spill on everything that she had to say. So a few weeks ago, Brittany Furlan came online to talk about a certain situation between her and Brooke Schofield and also Tana Mojo. Mostly between her and Brooke, but she was communicating with Tana through the situation as well. Basically, Brittany said that she never goes through her DMs, but was recently checking them out and noticed that around Coachella time, so back in April, she got a bunch of DMs from people talking about her husband, Tommy Lee, having kissed Brooke Schofield, and sent her a clip from Tana's Coachella vlog where Brooke is literally saying that she kissed Tommy Lee.
We just saw Jeff Bezos and Corey Gamble, and he almost ran us over, and I just kissed Tommy Lee.
Brittany was obviously like, what the heck, because that's her husband, and Brooke was talking about having kissed him, and she said that she was getting a little weirded out because she had left Coachella early and she wanted to get to the bottom of this whole thing and started messaging Tana and Brooke about this, and at first she wasn't hearing anything back from them.
And then I'm like in my head spiraling because I left Coachella a day early. Right. Then I started to get kind of worked up because I was like, I want to know why you would say that, right? So then I DM'd Tana because Tana and I follow each other, and I was like, hey babe, and they're on tour, and I was like, hey, can you message Brooke and let her know to check her DMs because I just asked her a question. And I messaged to Brooke, and I was very nice, and I said, hey, can you just clarify why you say you kissed my husband in this vlog? And I was nice because I was like just confused. And it was like a day had gone by, and then Tana saw my message and didn't reply. It just said seen. The next day, there was still no reply from either of them. So I messaged her again, and I was like, hey, I saw you saw my message. Like, please be a girl's girl. I'm like, you know, let me know what's going on.
She did mention that she spoke to her husband about this. Tommy said he didn't know Brooke and that he didn't kiss her, but she still wanted to know, like, you know, why would anyone say something about a married man like this? She eventually got a hold of Tana, and then she got in touch with Brooke, and she said that Brooke claimed the whole thing was just a joke, which Brittany and her co-host, who is also Brittany, were just like, what? Like, we are not seeing this as a joke. Like, where is the punchline here?
Tana was very nice, and she was like, oh, sorry, like, we're on tour. I didn't realize it was like a really big deal. Let me like tell her I'm so sorry. Like, she's actually super nice. And then Brooke responded to me and was like, oh my God, I don't even remember. She said something like, or I think I have it. I don't know if I want to post it or not, but she was just like, I'm sorry, I was joking. And I thought people would realize I was joking. And so, yeah, so she was like, I'm just joking. I didn't even actually interact with your husband at all. Here's a video of him in the back of my vlog and stuff. So, yeah, so she was like, just kidding.
I mean, listen, she's obviously not a comedian because what kind of joke is that, you know?
Now, Brooke and Tana decided to address this whole drama in the recent canceled podcast episode, with Brooke admitting that she had another apology to issue and that at the time, her and Tana were going through an embellishment phase, as she called it, and this was just one of the times where she was embellishing some things that they were doing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have another apology to issue. I didn't understand why it was a big deal, but like then I saw, like once she explained it, I was like, okay, I get it. But I have to issue a formal apology to Brittany Furlan, okay?
Brittany Furlan.
Brittany Furlan. She obviously DM'd me on her podcast. She said like she tried a bunch of times. Like I really don't think that. Well, I mean, I guess I believe her, but like I check my DMs all the time. I never saw it until that day. But she DM'd me and she was like, "Why are you saying you made out with my husband?" And like my initial thought was like, "What the? Like what are you even talking about?" But then I remembered I did say that. I fully said that. Remember when we were kind of doing like our little like embellishment of things that happened at Coachella? Like we saw Jeff Bezos from afar, so obviously Ari ran him over.
Ari did kind of run Jeff Bezos over. I'm not going to hold you, but I get what you're saying. I think that you and I just say shit, and it's like Tommy Lee's lore. Like I love Motley Crue, I love the dirt. Like it's you know what I mean. It's a.
I want to explain it as that. So that's
you're also drunk at Coachella and you're not thinking about Brittany Furlan. You know?
Okay, relax. Because this is a genuine apology. Because if someone came online and was talking about kissing my husband, I would come to that too.
And Brooke wanted to once again clarify that it really did not happen because some people have been speculating that it did, and she's saying that it didn't, and she wanted to be very clear about this just having been some joke that she made while they were at Coachella.
To me, Tommy Lee is like like Justin Bieber. Like he's like one of the most famous people in the world. So I'm not thinking in my head like that is somebody's husband. I'm thinking that is Tommy Lee. So in my head, I'm like, oh, I saw him from 20 feet away. I just made out with Tommy Lee, like spread the word.
Yeah, like
you know
silly
what I mean?
joke.
Like,
it's funny, you and I went to check the raw footage too to see if we cut out a just kidding. Didn't at all.
We didn't. So apparently I did not say just kidding, but I think I just assumed, I mean, I know that you would know that I was kidding.
Yes.
I should have assumed that the audience doesn't know that I'm kidding.
Yes.
Okay, so that's where I went wrong. Also, you just can't say that because I mean he really, like, I did really see him, so it's like it is technically plausible, but the reason I feel like apologizing is because in her own comments people are like, girl, don't be stupid, like your husband totally did that, and like it absolutely did not happen.
Brooke did want to end this off with another apology, but she also did want to call out Brittany's co-host Brittany for her comment about saying Brooke makes stuff up.
And you guys just saw
But
it.
then, you know, she makes shit up.
So then I don't know.
So Brooke wanted to call this part out because she did not appreciate this comment, even though I will say, like, you know, in this situation, she probably doesn't have the most room to be like, I don't make stuff up, because she did make something up. At least she's saying that she made something up in this particular situation. So, you know, it's a little weird.
Not kiss your husband, and I am sorry for saying that. I thought it would be like automatically everyone just knows that that's like my humor
funny,
and it's
silly
a joke, but it's not a joke. But you know what? I'll say something really quick about her co-host. Her co-host, I'm sorry, is sitting there and she's like, well, it's Brooke Schofield. You know, she just makes things up. And I'm like, ouch, first of all. And here's, I'll raise you this, okay? If you know that tidbit of information, then you know that it is pronounced Tana. And so I will say she should have corrected, if she is so knowledgeable about the canceled podcast, she should have said it's actually Tana Marie. Not just like making things up, by the way. I say that I like lying. I'm not just making things up all the time. I'm talking about like, oh, like, well, like I kissed Tommy Lee at Coachella. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of like harmless, which is actually not that harmless to lie. Maybe you guys kind of clocked me.
Truly, what a mess. Like, I just don't know how it was funny in the first place, but I guess they did, but probably won't be or shouldn't be making these kinds of jokes going forward with just how much drama came from this whole thing. I mean, people really were in Brittany's comments telling her that they think that it really did happen and Brooke is just lying now to not look like some homewrecker because they don't believe that someone would just joke about kissing someone, because that's just way too casual. Like, to be making something up like that's so crazy. But even Dave Portnoy was talking about it on BFFs and felt like there was no way that Brooke would joke about something like that and that it must have actually really happened, and she's just covering now by saying that it's a joke.
My bullshit meter here is like...
It's ding, 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 right?
I think they made out.
100%.
You think so?
Yeah. Like what? Yeah. Like if, and then you get called on it, what would you like? Oh no, I didn't say it. Watching how she said that. And again, this is where our podcast sometimes gets in trouble. We have no inside information on this, but
and we got a 5-second clip. We got a 5-second clip.
Watching that clip of Brooke talking, that did not feel like a joke. And if I got called to the carpet on it, I would be like, oh yeah, I was just joking. What a weird thing to make up.
But I also I know Brooke, and I feel like she talks like that and says stuff like that.
Out of the blue, you pull this guy's name out of the clouds.
But Brooke is speaking out. She's saying that there was no kiss. So that's what she's claiming here. It's also very interesting to me because Tana was saying that she follows Brittany and she loves her and Tommy together. So she knows that Brittany is married to Tommy Lee. So Brooke so casually having made that joke, I don't know. Maybe they're thinking it's funny to joke about having kissed like a married man so casually, or maybe they thought that everyone would be like, that's actually so ridiculous and so wild and crazy that could never happen. And that's like the joke in their mind, is that they thought it was just so outrageous to say something like that no one would believe it, but people are believing it, and thus there has been a lot of drama here. Like, if I had to really try to make sense of it, it's as if she was like, I saw Kermit the Frog at Coachella and we kissed. Like, everyone would probably be like, yeah, like that never happened. But her saying like, I saw Tommy Lee and we made out, everyone's like, I mean, well, you never know, like stranger things have happened. It's just a weird, crazy drama, but that was what Brooke had to say when she was explaining it back and apologizing for it. I certainly want to know what you guys think about this whole mess. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you guys thought that joke was funny. I don't know. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.